Why have you chosen geography over history as your optional subject?
Do you think that a decision in India in 1950 to give voting right to every citizen was a practically progressive decision? Of course, it was an ideal decision, but was it practical decision?
It is often said that history repeats itself.
Yes.
Right. So if you look at the developmental history of India, whether it is on political front or the economic front, can you highlight certain events where you feel that this notion is true, that the history is repeating itself?
We came across about your birthday that it's on International Labor Day.
Yes.
Labor Day. Yes. So how will you define labor and what are the problems of theirs?
Could you please tell me the difference between the labor and the artisan?
May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
So, myself, Piyush Raj. I belong to Sitapur district of Uttar Pradesh. I have completed my schooling from Lucknow Public School from Sitapur itself. Thereafter, I have completed my graduation from Gyanodaya Degree College from Lucknow. Further, I pursued my masters in history from IGNOU. Apart from academics, I take keen interest in cooking, kitchen gardening as well as drawing.
Piyush, tell me, why have you chosen geography over history as your optional subject?
Sir, there were only two reasons for me choosing geography over history. First was that in graduation I could not opt for geography because it was not available there. Secondly, sir, after my UPSC streamline, I could explore geography more and I found it that it covers a UPSC syllabus comprehensively. That is why, sir.
Okay. You must have studied about the chicken neck.
Yes.
What is chicken neck and why it is called so?
So chicken neck is a very narrow passage between India's mainland and northeastern parts. It lies in West Bengal and it is called chicken neck because it separates very narrowly the region from mainland and the northeastern region. It holds very strategic importance for India. For example, from perspectives of connectivity as well as the transport, etc. Sir.
Which country's boundary is closest to the chicken neck?
Sir, in chicken neck, Bhutan and China are very close, and from southern side, Bangladesh is also, sir.
Which district of Bangladesh is closest to the chicken neck?
Sorry, sir, I am not exactly aware about it.
You have studied geography. Differentiate between Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar Islands in terms of geography.
Yes, sir. In terms of geography, Lakshadweep Islands is a coral island formed by the agglomeration of coral polyps, and sir, Andaman and Nicobar Islands are volcanic islands, which are the islands groups which have emerged out of the sea due to volcanic eruptions as well as the folding of Indo-Australian plates and the Eurasian plate. That is why, sir, they are formed.
Wonderful. You must have gone through the recent budget pronouncements.
Yes, sir.
Tell me one program of the budget which you have liked the most.
Sir, majorly budget is a very progressive document which has been presented, but if I have to highlight, then I think National Manufacturing Mission is one program launched by the government that will pave a way for further enhancement in economy as well as development of skill in the youth, etc. Sir.
Why so much of stress and emphasis on the manufacturing sector? Why not in service sector?
Sir, in service sector, India is growing at a very decent rate, but in manufacturing, I think global competitiveness is very high. That is why to reap that benefit, India is focusing on manufacturing sector. And given the presence of demographic dividend in India, I think, sir, the manufacturing sector can pave the way for economic empowerment, sir.
Okay. In the budget, if you have studied budget, there is a mention of India Post in the budget, isn't it? India Post, that is post offices.
Yes, sir.
And the claim is that the post offices will act as catalyst for the rural economy. Do you have any idea how it has been envisaged in the budget?
Sir, I am not largely aware about it, but I could make a guess if you allow, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, post offices are majorly located in rural areas or the districts. So the connectivity between the people in rural areas is more with respect to post offices. That is why it has been envisaged that the post office will act as economic power hubs of the rural economies.
Okay, this is quite good. So you must have heard the term DOG, DOS, isn't it? Department of Government Efficiency.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of it? In the context of USA?
I'm not largely aware about
You
it.
are
sir.
not largely aware of that. Okay. One last question from my side. What is Drone Didi scheme?
So Drone Didi scheme is a women empowerment scheme through which the government is distributing drones, artificially intelligent applicable drones to women self-help groups, so that it can be used for various purposes such as agriculture, that can empower women in rural areas, and their financial ability can be increased. Sir.
Where this scheme has been launched for the first time in India?
Sorry, sir, I could not
You are
exactly
aware.
recall.
Is there any eligibility criteria also? Age eligibility criteria for the scheme?
Sorry, sir, I could not recall at present, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Piyush,
Yes, sir.
mothers play a very important role in development of personality of children,
Yes, sir.
including sons. But why do you think that the sons, after they grow up, fail to challenge the patriarchy and subordination of mothers?
Sir, in my opinion, I think children's personality grows what they see in their family, including their mother and father. But their inclination towards a mother's personality is more, as it is said that. But the challenges of patriarchy lie from traditional mindset also, as well as the practices prevalent in the society. Sir, in my opinion, I think that impacts more than what is happening in the family. So that's what I think.
Patriarchy is surviving and is even growing stronger worldwide for thousands of years. So there must be some merits in this system that the society is carrying on with the system. Which merits do you see in patriarchy?
Sir, in my opinion, patriarchy has very little merits. But if I have to highlight few, I think the division of workforce is one where the division is divided between men and women, and the superiority of men can be also devised from the physical structure also, the power and strength. So I think these are the two reasons why patriarchy still prevails, sir.
Do you think that growing conflicts between different communities, including different nations, necessitate allocation of work between males and females? Outside field work is generally given to males if there is a conflict situation. For example, there is a conflict going on between Russia and Ukraine. So there is a dilemma within the family of Ukraine that if there is a division of work to be done, which work should be given to males and which work should be given to females in a war condition?
So what I could recall is that due to physical strength, men are given more power for doing how to works, for example, involvement in war or etc. But sir, this idea cannot be universally accepted, and nowadays women regiments are also increasing in army forces. So I think physically also both genders are equally important, and this can be looked into, sir.
Is it also true that because women are privileged to have childbearing capabilities, males are deprived of that? In warlike condition, when the number of soldiers is reducing, dwindling, Ukrainian society needs more soldiers, more young persons. So they are protecting their women folk very strongly so that children are born and the army is replenished with new recruits.
Certainly, sir, this can be one reason, but for children being born, I think both male and female are required, and that saving lives for both.
Even one male can be sufficient to, let's say, a community of 20 females or 50 females or 100 females. But if a male dies, it is damage of one soldier. But if a female dies, there could be a damage of maybe 20 soldiers or 10 soldiers.
Yes, sir, certainly that can be said. But I think the importance of lives for both male and female is important, and that has to be taken into account, sir.
Okay. Do you think that a decision in India in 1950 to give voting right to every citizen was practically progressive decision? Of course, it was ideal decision, but was it practical decision?
Yes, sir. In my opinion, I think giving universal adult suffrage was a practical as well as ideal decision because the definition of universal adult suffrage makes it clear that anyone above 18 or age or above should be given the equal voting rights. So there is no mention of discrimination on the basis of gender. So that is why, sir, it can be.
Isn't it ignoring meritocracy? That means you are giving equal right to a person who is meritorious and another person who is not meritorious, a person who is qualified, another who is not qualified, a person who is patriotic, another person who is not patriotic.
Sir, in my opinion, in democracy, the rule of the people is taken. That is why equal rights are given to anyone, irrespective of his or her caste, irrespective of his or her status. So that is why, sir, universal adult franchise was practiced.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Piyush, it is often said that history repeats itself,
Yes, sir.
right? So if you look at the developmental history of India, whether it is on political front or the economic front, can you highlight certain events where you feel that this notion is true, that the history is repeating itself?
So in political sense, if I have to highlight the growth of Indian politics, then I think the dominance of one party system during the 1950s was one region, and after that the coalition politics started. Sir, in recent past or last decade, I think the rule of one party is established. So this is what I can think of history repeating itself. And sorry, sir, I forgot the second.
In the economic domain, any of the economic policies of the independent India you feel were disruptive enough, and we are seeing the reflection of same in the recent times?
Sorry, sir, I could not think
Okay,
of.
what is your take on the demonetization that was done by the government?
Sir, largely demonetization was done to bring the black money, or to extract the black money and take it out of the regular flow in the economy. But after certain evaluations and certain researches, it was found that the idea was not very successful. But in my opinion, I think, sir, regular demonetization after a certain period can boost economy as well as also curb the black money. So it can be an incentive, and at large it should be debated and more consensus can be obtained. Then only such decisions at large level should be implemented.
Okay, so one of the most positive outcome of the demonetization process was the Indian masses have now shifted to the digital modes of payment.
Yes, sir.
At that point of time, it was a necessity. Now it is more of convenience.
Yes, sir.
The RBI also has the e-rupee, that is the CBDC. What is the status of this CBDC in India?
Sir, as per I know, I think this central bank or digital currency has been provided by RBI in e-rupee form. As per regulations, I am not exactly aware about it, but it has been promoted by RBI.
So are people using it?
Sir, I am not exactly aware about it.
Okay, no problem. Piyush, what do you understand by Hindu rate of growth?
Sir, Hindu rate of growth is a rate of growth which is used to calculate economic progress, as far as I know, but I am not exactly sure about it, sir.
Okay, so you have also studied geography.
Yes.
Can you please tell us that what do you understand by the demographic transition theory?
Demographic transition theory was proposed by Thomson and Notestein, and he proposed that the transition takes place from a very low growth rate to a high growth rate, and after a certain period of time the stagnant growth will take place in 4 phases. That can be first phase will include high birth and high deaths due to unavailability of proper medication, and second phase, sir, the growth rate will shoot up due to improved healthcare facilities, but the death rate would decline.
So
sir.
if we take the example of India in particular, where India stands in this demographic transition?
Sir, at present I think India stands in a middle stage where growth rate is increasing, but it is moving towards the third stage where stagnant growth will take place, sir.
So some of the thinkers are of the opinion that India should now seriously consider the population control measures. What is your opinion on this issue? Should India control its population?
Sir, in my opinion, bilateral policy can be devised where population control policy should also be taken into account, as well as developmental initiatives should be taken. Looking at present demographics, I think India is in a demographic dividend phase. So development of workforce can be taken on one hand, and the population control measures can be taken on second hand. But in recent times it has been observed that the growth rate is declining, as well as the fertility rate is also declining. So strict measures cannot be devised, but proper policy can be formulated so that economic prospects can be explored.
My last question to you. Currently, we are witnessing this debate regarding the length of working hours a person should dedicate towards his or her professional life. Some people are saying 70-hour work week is the ideal. Some people are saying 90-hour work week is the ideal. Some people are of the opinion that 120 hours per week is the optimal time that one should devote. What is your take on this issue?
Sir, in my opinion, both efficiency and effectiveness should be taken into account, and quality and quantity should be managed accordingly. Work efficiency is also required, sir. Only increasing the hours of working cannot give fruitful results. Proper rehabilitation, for example, physical health maintenance as well as mental stress could be taken so that efficiency can be increased, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I will continue the question, and we came across about your birthday that it's on International Labor Day.
Yes.
Labor Day. Yes. So, how will you define labor and what are the problems of theirs?
Sir, according to the definition, labor can be any individual who is engaged in some kind of economic activity. But the problems with respect to labor is that the high involvement of any workforce in certain areas. For example, in agriculture, also the sorry, sir, I could not recall exactly.
In what many categories has been divided into? And if you being an IAS officer, what suggestions, measures you will be taking to enhance their capabilities?
Sorry, sir, I could not recall exactly what categories are about the labors. But if I have to frame policies with respect to labors, I think proper economic incentives to laborers can be given, and wage stabilization can be seen with respect to what they work. Secondly, sir, proper social policies or social enhancement policies can be taken, as also highlighted in the labor codes recently. So that's what I could think.
Already it has been there in the DPSP, and there is a provision for minimum wages also there. So what next?
Yes, sir, they have been mentioned in DPSP, but that is not the justiciable part in the constitution. That is why proper policies have to be formulated, and then after the implementation should be taken, sir.
You are from Sitapur.
Yes, sir.
And it's very close to Lucknow.
Yes, sir.
But if you match the situation with Lucknow, it's we can say the worst district category Sitapur will be in terms of the economic growth and other prosperities. So what are the major problems of Sitapur?
Yes, sir. As you rightly highlighted, sir, Sitapur is not very economically developed, though being very proximate with Lucknow. But sir, if I have to highlight other major problems with respect to Sitapur, I think the sex ratio is also very concerning in Sitapur. The infrastructure development is also not at that pace. And sir, plight of the farmers is also witnessed in the district, sir. These are the three highlights I could think of at present, sir.
There is a Naimisharanya Tirth.
Yes, sir.
Will you be telling about something?
Yes, sir.
What about it?
So Naimisharanya is a historical and mythological place. It is mentioned in Sri Ramcharitmanas as well as in Ramayana, and it is also highlighted in Mahabharata and Puran. It holds very religious significance from Hindu mythological place, and it has been bestowed. It has been given the boon by Lord Brahma that Kali Yuga will not enter at this place because it is the most pious place on the earth.
Okay. These days, the alternative disputes redressal mechanism is in news.
Yes, sir.
To lessen the workload on the judicial system in India. Will you name some of 4 to 5 alternate dispute redressal mechanism?
Yes, sir. The alternative dispute resolution mechanism can have arbitration, mediation, and sir, sorry, sir, I could recall only 2 at present, sir.
Anyway, my last question. What qualities you do have, the basis on which we must recommend you to be an IAS officer?
So the qualities required for civil servants, for example, integrity. I hold integrity with respect to my work. I am honest with what I do, and sir, I am very punctual for my work. And thirdly, sir, a sense of social service is also there, so that so I would recommend, I would say these qualities would be highlight of my personality, and I think you definitely should recommend me for the civil services.
What if we do not? Then what lacuna is there in you?
Though I have been working on my various lacunas to improve them, but if I have to highlight and if I could think of at present, sir, then I think at sometimes I get frustrated for not completing my work, or maybe there could be delays for that. So that is what I could point out at, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, Piyush.
Hello, ma'am.
Could you please tell me the difference between the labor and the artisan?
Ma'am, labor is any unorganized individual working in a certain factor of production, whereas an artisan is involved with certain skill. That is what I can think of, ma'am.
All right. Talking about the artisans, could you please tell me the historical roots of chicken curry embroidery?
Sorry, ma'am, I could not really trace the history of chicken curry in Lucknow, but what I could think of is that during the medieval period, the chicken curry was very popular, and since then it has been growing very well in the districts, ma'am.
It has been growing, but we have seen artisans struggling to preserve it.
Yes, ma'am. There have been very tough competition with the artificial clothes that have come in the market. But at large, if we look, then the original the chicken curry content is growing at good pace, ma'am.
All right. Could you please tell me the historical significance of Lucknow in developing the arts in UP?
Ma'am, Lucknow has been the hub of architectural arts activities. For example, dance and music. Lucknow during the rule of Nawabs has created the art forms. For example, Kathak had been created here, and the music forms, for example, gharanas have originated from Lucknow. So this is the artistic activities from Lucknow, ma'am.
All right. Paintings are also a famous part of art in UP, right? Could you please tell me the features of Bundelkhand painting?
What I could recall, ma'am, is that Bundela paintings highlight the local traditions as well as mythological characters. They use specific colors. For example, primary colors are used like yellow, orange, yellow, green and blue, etc. And they depict mythological characters from Ramayana and Mahabharata, ma'am.
All right. UP has a very strong presence of Bollywood and Bhojpuri cinema, right? How does these cinema influencing the socio-cultural fabric of the state?
Certainly, ma'am, UP and Bhojpuri region is being highlighted in a very derogatory manner in Bollywood movies. But the reality is far away from that. For example, that has been highlighted for Gunda Raj in Bollywood movies, but UP is being progressing at very fast pace. For example, the growth rate is very high at 8%, around 8%. But the socio-cultural aspects are also very prominent in Uttar Pradesh. For example, religious tourism is very high in Uttar Pradesh, so that is the reason I could think of, ma'am.
All right. Talking about tourism, terrace tourism is a term that has been in news recently. Do you know what terrace tourism is?
Sorry, ma'am, I have not heard about it.
All right. It is renting your terrace. A resident will rent its terrace to the visitors or the tourists to click some pictures with the archaeological monuments or with other monuments. Could you please think of, like, if you could think of any innovative ideas by which UP can also promote its tourism?
Certainly, ma'am, terrace tourism can be one area, but if I have to think of, then I think making selfie points at various hotspots. For example, there can be hotspots with respect to village culture. Tradition can be highlighted where selfies can be taken, and ma'am, the infrastructure development can also be promoted through that. And secondly, ma'am, riverine ghats can be promoted through the technological use as well as ma'am, digital social media, etc. That is what I can think of, ma'am.
My last question to you: what are the steps that the UP government has already taken to promote tourism?
Recently, ma'am, the development of 12 tourist circuits have taken place, and the government is working in that direction to boost tourism in the country, and it has also promoted cultural as well as eco-tourism in the state. So this is what the government is doing at present, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Piyush, your interview is over. Thank you very much. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in. Sit down, Piyush.
Thank you, sir.
Your interview is on 14th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which attempt is this?
Sir, overall third attempt, but it is my first interview,
First
sir.
interview. Okay. So, how was your experience today with us?
Sir, it was decent. It was quite enlightening, and I came to know about various dimensions with respect to my personality as well as with respect to the academics, which I need to prepare also. So that is what I.
You are a wonderful candidate, Piyush. I must tell you, our assessment is that you have all the good qualities of becoming a future civil servant.
Thank you, sir.
So, whatever little interaction we have had with you, that impression is very positive about you. About the quality of questions and type of questions, nobody can guarantee you what type of questions will be asked and what will be the quality of questions. But best part is that wherever we try to have your opinion, you had your opinion on certain things, which is what it should be, because one is the factual, whether you know or you don't know. Don't know doesn't matter, you say I don't know. But wherever you know, try to present the facts in a very logical manner. And you have been able to present by and large in a logical manner. Then, as I tell every candidate, is the test of your personality, not the knowledge per se, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, various parts, various dimensions of your personality will be seen by the board while talking to you and the way you are answering to those questions. So, maintain your personal integrity and let there be no compromise with your personal integrity. That is very important.
Yes.
And in all your statements, honesty of purpose has to be there. I mean, you can't be going wayward, you can't be giving answers based on conjectures and guesses.
Yes.
This is a big no. If you don't know, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because that is the one part of your personality which will also be seen by the board. Whether you stick, whether if you don't have information, whether you have the tendency to still speak without knowing the subject, or you restrain yourself from speaking. So maintain that. You have today you have restrained yourself. So 3-4 days time is there. Nothing much to tell you, because you are from UP. Geography is your subject. History is one which you have studied.
Yes.
So maybe some questions related to historical events may also be, whatever is happening in the modern day India, you should know about it. That rewriting of history, should it be based on political ideology of the day, or it should be based on hard evidences and all. So maintain a very balanced answer, because there is no black and white in history.
Yes.
So then about the theories, nationalist theory, Marxist theory, subaltern theory, you must have studied all that.
Yes, sir.
And in today's context, how relevant it is, these theories and all that. Subaltern theory, looking at the history from the below.
Yes.
Whether the historians have really tried to analyze history from the below,
Yes,
or there is something is lacking in that also. So that could be one area. UP, so many issues are there in the UP. Or defense industrial corridor is coming up in the UP. So again, opinion-based questions, factual plus opinion-based question on the need for having a defense corridor and all that.
Yes.
So that is one essay. Then your Places of Worship Act is there. So that is status, your opinion on the Places of Worship Act. That is bulldozer culture is third, where the Supreme Court has taken a cognizance and issued a judgment on that. What are the silent features of the judgment and all? Geography, just to understand your information of the geography, I don't think you will have any difficulty in answering questions in the area of geography. Date of birth is on the 1st May, happens to be Labor Day, isn't it?
Yes.
So थोड़ा पढ़ लो Labor Day के बारे में. If somebody asks you and your interview is on 14th, happens to be Valentine's Day.
Yes, sir.
Why it is called Valentine Day? Now there is a to counterbalance that, this day is being celebrated in our Indian society by certain quarters as Matri Pitri Pujan Divas.
Yes.
So why this is happening? On the one hand you have Valentine's Day, and on the other hand you have Matri Pitri Pujan. Some your opinion-based questions likely to be asked. So that is one thing. Otherwise, good. About international affairs, we asked you a few questions. Read about recent developments. So apart from whatever is happening, which you have studied, recently America is very much in the news.
Yes, sir.
So whatever executive orders have been issued by the President Donald Trump, just note down somewhere, and significance of each and every order. And in that context only, the DOGE, the issue of Department of Government Efficiency, which has been created by the President of USA, to be headed by Elon Musk and all that. So that was the question was asked, which we are supposed to be aware of, because this is a hotly debated issue about the constitutional propriety of Elon Musk, in what capacity he is having access to all the secret and confidential documents of the US government, including financial documents. So we are supposed to be aware of that. Then his recent statement 2-3 days back on the Gaza. So those things, I mean, 3-4 days time is there. Just prepare a brief on that.
Yes.
Because some questions are likely to be asked vis-a-vis the American policy. Otherwise, a good candidate, and just maintain your neutrality, maintain your normal self, and give answers to the best of your abilities. From our side is all the best. If you have still any questions to ask.
Sir, with respect to what I am wearing,
it's good, excellent, excellent. Your energy level is also good. Your sense of dressing is also good.
yes.
There is no problem in that. Absolutely no problem.
Last time I was pointed about the entering and leaving, sir. What?
Entering was very smart. There was no problem. You entered smartly. You waited for permission.
Yes.
After having given permission, you took the seat, and then you opened your button. So there was no problem, which is why we did not mention to you about all those things.
Yes.
So I don't think there is any problem. There is absolutely no problem. All the best again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.